Welcome everyone, this is On Just Restart, and this time we're talking about my expectations for the next Metroid Prime 4 teaser. So some of you may be thinking that because I'm coming out with this video now, it's me suggesting I'm expecting a Metroid Prime 4 teaser or reveal in a Nintendo Direct that may be happening not too long from now. I'm going to acknowledge that as a possibility, but even if we get a full-on general Nintendo Direct, which at this point is still in question, we may not get that Metroid Prime 4 teaser. So while it's possible, and I am kind of hoping for it, I'm also totally aware and prepared for it to happen perhaps a little bit later this year, or maybe even next year. These are possibilities. But regardless, when we get that Metroid Prime 4 teaser, there are gonna be some things there. So what could they be? Well, that's what we'll be focusing on today. Now, before we jump into things, let me first very quickly talk about my social media. It's all linked in the description below. And while you're at it, maybe also leave a like, that really helps out the channel. And if you're interested, perhaps consider joining as a member. So let's go back to the idea of a Metroid Prime 4 teaser coming in a Direct, because I kind of can't really see it happening in any other way. I think the most likely scenario is that at some point there's going to be a Nintendo Direct where Nintendo will showcase Metroid Prime 4. That is going to happen. That is a given, pretty much 100%. But it is possible that maybe we don't see the first actual gameplay of Metroid Prime 4 until, say, maybe the Game Awards. That's an outside possibility. It could happen. And when I say outside, I'm not saying 1%, maybe it's a little higher than that. But most likely, I would say, our next mention of Metroid Prime 4 is going to come in a Direct. So, for the sake of argument, let's assume we are getting a big General Direct next. If we do get that, then there's going to be a number of new Nintendo things, published Nintendo offerings, that will be announced. And I am anticipating that there will be a remaster or remake of the initial Metroid Prime based off rumors that I think are pretty credible, and it sort of lines up with what appears to be Nintendo's sort of marketing plan and lead up to Metroid Prime 4. So when this is finally announced, that's going to be the focus, not Metroid Prime 4. But I do think it would be weird to not at least make a mention of Prime 4. But here's where things get slightly more interesting, at least from my perspective, because last year when they announced Metroid Dread, they already gave us that mention of Metroid Prime 4. They told us that development is going well. Will they simply just do that again? Will they treat this pretty much like Breath of the Wild, or rather I mean Breath of the Wild 2? Yeah, they might. That might be it. They might simply say, hey, development is going well. But what I really want to talk about is when they finally decide to reveal this game to some extent. And it might happen once they reveal this next Metroid offering. They might not give us a full-blown Metroid Prime 4 trailer right after they tell us that they're coming out with Metroid Prime 1 remake, but they might give us a quick little snippet. They might give us a little bit more than just, hey, development is going well. Here's this other Metroid Prime game instead. They might give us something more than that. I remember there was a Direct long ago where they were teasing Metroid Prime 3, and all they showed us was basically Samus just kind of standing there, but it gave us an idea of what to sort of expect of how Samus would look in the next game, which admittedly wasn't too different from Metroid Prime 2. In this day and age, things are very different because it's been a very long time since we've seen a modern day Metroid Prime offering. And on that note, perhaps the Metroid Prime remake itself will be a bit of a teaser for Metroid Prime 4, because the idea behind this, at least according to rumors, is that Retro Studios is working on some sort of build of Metroid Prime. They showed it to Nintendo, they really liked it, they greenlit a whole remake of the initial Metroid Prime, but also, as we now know publicly, Metroid Prime 4 is now also being developed by Retro Studios. So perhaps we're going to get a good look at this Metroid Prime remake not too long from now, and it's going to be using a new engine that Retro Studios has been working on, and that same engine will be the foundation for Metroid Prime 4. And I think that actually sounds like a splendid idea. A modern take on Metroid Prime being the foundation for Metroid Prime 4, that's probably the best way to go about it. So even if they don't even say Metroid Prime 4, Metroid Prime itself, this supposed remaster or remake, that alone is a bit of a teaser for Metroid Prime 4. But perhaps when they do reveal this, they will say that this is a foundation for Metroid Prime 4. Maybe Nintendo will confirm some of that information, that Retro Studios isn't working for Metroid Prime, and it's giving them ideas for Prime 4. And that might be what we sort of get for our next Metroid Prime 4 teaser. It may not be footage, it may not be an awesome new trailer, it may not be Samus exploring a dark cavern only to see Sags coming back alive in some sort of crazy dead corpse. That's me sort of alluding to Breath of the Wild 2. So we don't know exactly how they're going to do things, but I would say that that's a fairly likely possibility. But it is also worth noting that Retro Studios has updated their Twitter recently. There was that banner that seems very Metroid Prime 4-like, or Metroid Prime something like. I do think that they are getting ready to reveal things. It may just be the Prime remake, it may be beyond that, and maybe we do get this Prime remake and they still give us a little bit of something else. I could see them giving us a small little snippet, similar to how we saw that one time where they just sort of showed Samus on screen teasing Prime 3. They might give us a look into how Samus is going to appear in Prime 4, or maybe they'll give us a quick little glimpse as to what she's seeing from her perspective, given that it is Metroid Prime and it's first person, at an environment that will give us a good understanding of how this game is going to look and maybe play. Just like a quick little 5 seconds, something like that, a quick little scene that will incite feelings and thoughts and different discussions that will fuel us until they're finally ready to give us a proper trailer or gameplay reveal of this game. So to sort of summarize, my expectations is that the next Metroid reveal is not going to be Prime 4, but more likely a remaster or remake of Prime 1, but this game will be modernized in a way that it itself will be a bit of a teaser for Prime 4, because it will show us the design direction and gameplay direction for Prime 4, and they may even officially make some mention of the connection between these games. But I'm also acknowledging the small possibility that they may go a little bit beyond that and give us a small, quick little glimpse as to how the game looks in some way or form. I think the best it would be showing things from Samus's perspective. Maybe we don't see Samus herself, so there's still that bit of a teaser there. We get a look at the environment and how Prime 4 is a progression compared to the previous Prime games. That's what I could sort of see happening. That's what I would like to see to happen as well. I think it would be pretty darn cool. Obviously, what I would want the most is just a full-blown trailer with a whole bunch of story and gameplay details of Prime 4, but I don't think we're quite ready for that yet. I think we're building up to it, but we're not there yet. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, everyone, this is On Just Restart. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you all really soon. Take care. Bye.